could actually blind you. So proteolytic enzymes will help to get rid of any inflammation in the body anywhere. And because cancer is on the rise in our country, I'm a firm believer, again, that everybody should be on proteolytic enzymes as well as an immune formula for those reasons.
Would they help, as you age, you get dry eyes, your tear ducts, or you're not teary apparently, like you should. Does that help that as well?
That's a great question. I don't know. Because for two reasons I don't know. One, I don't know, just because I don't know. And the other is I don't know. I know the process that creates tear duct, tears. Okay, so there's the question there. I don't know if it's an inflammatory process that is blocking that transaction or if it's a lack of nutrients. My inclination would be to say more nutrient depletion or deprivation than a blockage. Okay? Because remember that from a different point of view, no one dies from old age. We die from debilitating diseases, chronic diseases, heart attacks, things of that nature, kidney failure. But when it comes to old age, now you're talking about people dying at 118, 120, 121, because the human body is constantly regenerating itself. And if you have the nutrients, let me go back a minute because I always like to say that when we talk about regeneration, only 96% of your cells are regenerating. Not 100%. Because you have 3% of your cells that have built-in self-correcting mechanisms. Your brain nerve is one system, your heart muscle is another, and the gut-associated lymphoid tissue. They all have self-correcting mechanism. If you do not have a more than adequate supply of nutrients, you're going to have a breakdown in one of those three systems. Therein begins that whole degenerative diseases along those lines. That leaves 1%. Your blood cells are not true cells. Okay? So the 96%, the other 96% are in a constant state of regeneration. And so it's absolutely vital for the 3% as well as the 96% that you have an abundance of nutrients. Vitamins are actually coenzymes, and your body runs on enzyme processes. The minerals are cofactors and catalysts. They facilitate the transactions. And minerals also work as part of enzyme constructions. Look at, here we are, diabetes is becoming a major issue in our country, a major killer as well. And zinc is essential for the construction of insulin. And people do not, even in the health food stores, they do not sell enough multi-minerals. People are not mineral conscious. Everybody's vitamin conscious, everybody's one-a-day conscious, but if you take a look at the formulas in a one-a-day, there are not enough minerals. People should take a multi-mineral, and if you take it in the evening, you'll sleep better. If you have a tendency towards leg aches, back aches, charley horses, spasms, palpitations, restless leg, if you grind your teeth, all of these are indications of minerals. If you have grandchildren to talk about growing pains, minerals, a multi-mineral, calcium, magnesium, potassium, phosphorus, zinc, a comprehensive multi-mineral. Yes, sir.
When discussing supplements and minerals and sleep being restorative, is there some supplements you recommend taking at night as opposed to during the day?
Well, your minerals fundamentally should be taken at night and your vitamins in the morning with food.
Okay.
That way you'll have your energy throughout the day to carry you, and when your body is in a recuperative state and a repairing state, it can do it by having the minerals help facilitate the transactions. Okay.
So the multi-mineral is sold in health food stores?
Separately.
It is?
Yes.
I thought you said it wasn't, or they weren't selling enough.
They don't sell enough.
That's
the consciousness is not there yet. It's like, it's just not there yet. It will be in another couple of years, I think, as more and more research comes out and more of us presenters start talking it up more. Eventually, it's like you all know the 100 monkey theory? Okay? For those of you who don't, it's an interesting concept. That this one monkey had a sweet potato, but it was covered in sand, and he went down to the water and he washed it off and ate it. A couple of other monkeys saw him do that. And they went down and started doing it. When it got to the 100th monkey, monkeys all over the world were washing their food. That's the 100 monkey theory. And if you look at, pardon?
It gets into the consciousness.
And into our consciousness. Look at the health food industry. When Phyllis and I got into the industry as consumers, we were maybe 2%, 3% of the populace. Today, it's like 7 or 10%, and you've got organic foods in all of the supermarkets, you have supplements in all of the supermarkets, you have advertising on the TV about supplements. Back in the day, it was you were crazy to do that, it wasn't necessary. So consciousness rises. There are more people today seeking greater answers to solutions to problems, deeper answers, because the answers of old do not work. So, 100 monkey, where our consciousness is elevated. Any last minute questions?
Vitamins. Some vitamins are warned against an overdosage because of toxicity, primarily the fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin A. How much do you recommend? I've read that you don't want more than 20,000 units, for instance.
Well, if you're going to do fish liver oils, I would say 25,000 on a daily basis, not to exceed that. However, if you're coming down with a cold or a flu, something like that, then I would recommend up to 300,000 units a day for 3 days. And then after that you won't need it then you don't take it for 3 days, then you can go back to it. Because think of vitamin A along those lines as being ammunition. Your body's being invaded by an alien force. And in response, you need to build an army to go out and do battle with this invading force. Vitamin A is the material that helps mature the T cells to go out and do battle. So the more vitamin A you bring in at that level, the better off you are. On an everyday basis, 25,000 IUs if you're doing fish liver oil. If you're doing beta-carotene, you can do 1 million units a day, and it won't matter, you'll just have a real interesting tan. You'll become part of the orange people. And we're trying to
I had a friend in college who loved carrots, and she did turn orange.
Yeah.
She was amazing.
Yeah,
and then her doctor made her reduce the amount of carrots that she could eat.
Well, it's really interesting. I met a man at one of the seminars I did in Florida, and he cured his cancer by doing 5 pounds of organic carrot juice every single day.
Oh, no kidding.
Vitamin A is amazing. It is all, look, insights are amazing. If you can see into the doubt, you can eliminate the doubt and fear in your life, there isn't anything you can't accomplish. And that's what vitamin A is. So the plug about the book, the commercial, it's commercial time, is that I really take a look at probably 50 of the most common diseases, ailments, and look at that from a symbolic perspective. I've also outlined how the mind really works, how concepts affect us, how you can communicate with your mind and learn the language that it uses to talk to you, because you're never alone. And God is within you, guiding you to help you stay on that narrow, rocky path that leads to life. And the information is in there is designed to do that. There's also the symbology of the body, every single part, so you can understand if there's conflict and disharmony, that will help you get some insights to that. I've also done the body parts, diseases, and the nutrients, which gives, again, another perspective, a deeper insight as to how you can heal yourself on every level. That's my commercial. Any last minute questions?
I had a question, Mike.
Yes, sir.
What would you recommend for supplementation, like herbs, for someone with Crohn's?
Well, with Crohn's, ideally you want to build, it's really interesting, let me back up. It's really interesting because Crohn's is an